Hey, Satnam, everyone.
Satnam, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, friends. Well, welcome. Here we are, day one, 40-day challenge, day one, 2018.
Yeah.
It's a full moon today, and very beautiful moon. I was out last night with our dog, and it's a clear here, and we're in Northern California, Nevada City. We live in the woods and just outside of Nevada City, California. And I was outside, clear, beautiful night, and it's almost like you didn't need a flashlight. Usually you do at our house because we're in the woods, but the moon was so beautiful and bright. So it feels like a really lovely, so far so good for 2008, for 2018. And we're really happy to be here and be doing this with you. We're going to knock it out today. We're going to do this broadcast. We're going to do our best to be done within an hour. Let's see. We always try our best. And then we'll go and do whatever we're doing to enjoy our New Year's Day. And yeah. So today we really want to just spend a little bit of time here at the beginning, making sure everybody feels confident and comfortable with this 40-day challenge experience. And we just want to get started the right way, meaning really kind of being clear with our expectations, being clear with our intention, and also being aware of, what is realistic in terms of expectations. Of course, none of us know exactly how it's going to go. Everything is different all the time, and it's different for different people all the time. So, but there are some things that we can definitely know what may take place. We know for sure there's going to be peaks and valleys in these because we've done enough of them that there's a definite rhythm, just as there is a rhythm to life. Like right now is the full moon. So, for instance, if you took an inhalation, so the full moon is like at the peak of your inhalation. When you inhale, your whole body is full. There's the most prana at that moment, most life force in your body at that moment, at the peak of your inhalation, which is like the full moon. The full moon is when there is the most prana in regards to the moon cycle. And then when you exhale, and push all the breath out. When the breath is completely out, if you use your navel diaphragm to push all the breath out, that's like the new moon of the inhalation, exhalation breath cycle. Just like when the waves come in, when the tide comes in, there's a high tide, and when the tide goes out, there's a low tide. Low tide is like the new moon. High tide is like the full moon. So these are the rhythms of nature. They're not just unique to, they're not independent of each other. Everything is interdependent. In fact, I read on the news this morning that in Goa, on the coast of India, which is a popular place to go to the beach in India, they were the government of that city or state, whatever it is, issued a warning because they said because this is a supermoon, the moon's closest to the Earth, that they're concerned about there being really strong tides coming in and the ocean is being very dangerous. And psychologists and even some doctors and even police officers know that when the full moon is high, people's emotions are also higher. The just like we know the moons affect the tides. Well, you and I, our bodies are created of mostly water. Of course, they affect us as well. It's not that far of a stretch. It's not that esoteric to know that these things that are the subtle parts of life are very real and very substantial and powerful. In fact, as we're going to really, week by week, as we go through this 40 challenge, we're going to continue to unpack different layers of these teachings. Today is just to get our foot solid on the ground and feel good and confident with our 40-day experience. But the subtle parts of life are the most important and powerful parts of life. And this main meditation that we're doing, one of the two main meditations, is specifically for your subtlety and cultivating subtlety. And cultivating subtlety is the same as purifying density, because it's the density of the mind, which comes from your subconscious, that maintains old habits. As long as my mind stays rather dense, then all the things that I keep doing habitually, even though I know deep down that they're not in service to me and my prosperity and my health and my happiness, I keep doing the same dumb stuff anyways, because that energy of that habit, that momentum of that habit is stronger than my willpower in that scenario. So what we're doing here is doing something powerful enough, and because it's powerful enough in that these practices are super powerful, but it's also powerful enough because it's a substantial enough amount of time, 40 days of consistent practice that can then be powerful enough to change a habit. Yeah. What do you think? So, so I won't keep going on and on. I told Simrit before he started, I was like, let's be real concise. And then
he's like, you're going to start it off? I'm like, I'm good. We don't need to do anything else.
Sometimes it just grabs a hold and has to come through. So, couple practical points we wanted to go over with you before we do. We're going to do these meditations today. 11 minutes of both kriyas, both meditations. We use those words kriyas, meditations, interchangeably. And especially for those of you who are brand new to the Life Force Academy, first, welcome and thank you for being here.
Welcome. We're so happy to be here together with you. These are some of our favorite, the live broadcasts are some of our favorite parts of the 40-day challenges, because even though we're all in different rooms all over the world with our computers, the thing is our energies are connected and we feel the web of energy when we're doing the meditations, and it makes it so much more powerful in my experience than doing it by myself, which is fine and extremely powerful on its own. But when we're together, it's exponentially more powerful. So it's one of my favorite ways to connect, for sure.
Yeah, and there's a definite difference when you do these practices, like when we do them at home by ourselves, versus like if I'm in a class with a lot of people in it. It's like, gosh, that energy is so much stronger in a class with a lot of people in it. And I experience the same thing when it's just me and a computer, but there's hundreds of people on the other side of this live broadcast.
Yeah, at the same time.
It's a definite effect. So we do create a group energy in these live broadcasts.
Yeah, for sure.
It's undeniable. We've done hundreds of them now over the last few years. So we know how it feels and how it works, and it's very potent. And we have people all over the world who are here. People in Europe, people in Asia, people in South America. At times we've had people in Africa, almost every continent, definitely every continent, and many, 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 many countries we have Life Force Academy members. So one of the things that, if you haven't done already, that's important to do definitely by today is to really decide what your commitment is with this 40-day challenge. And you can see on the 40-day challenge page, in fact, I'm going to share the 40-day challenge page in the Academy on my screen right now, so you can see it. So when you log into the Academy, which you're in there now because you're watching this, you're on, of course, the live broadcast page. Anytime you want to find the live broadcast page, you can just go challenge and broadcast and then live broadcast. Okay, you want to see old live broadcasts, you can go to the archive. So what I'm going to do right now is skip down to the bottom of this page, and it shows like level warrior, level prosperity, and level radiant. And so those are just there to give you some guidelines. You don't have to choose exactly one of these, but to give some guidelines about deciding what is your commitment going to be. Okay? And I'm going to come back to that in just a second, but really well, first of all, just being on this live broadcast, you're going to do everything you need to do for day one, and because we're going to do both the meditations. But you can also go into the 40-day challenge page, watch the introduction video. It's about 8 minutes long. It tells all about this 40-day challenge, a lot of what we're going to talk about today, though. And then it has how to do the meditations, this video, where we explain exactly how to do both of the meditations. And then the 40-day challenge practice video. This is a video where you can use each and every day if you wish at home, where it has 11 minutes of both of our meditations plus a gong relaxation at the end of it. So all in all, with the relaxation, both meditations, it's about a little over 30 minutes. And this is very important. Right here is where you can stream on the website or download by clicking the little download area the new Pranic HUD, the new music we're using for the meditations for this 40-day challenge.
Yeah, that was recorded exclusively for the Academy for this meditation. So we just got it mastered a few days ago, and so we're really happy to share that. Well, that's for me, one of the perks about this whole thing is being able to create new music solely for the Academy, and then share that with y'all as well. So it's not available on iTunes. It's not on any of my albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yep.
Really, really excited.
We just want to get through the nuts and bolts stuff, because once we go into these meditations, we're not going to want to go back to the mundane, practical stuff. So we're getting this out of the way first. This is what we think is really important, that regardless of what you decide your commitment is, so some of you, especially if you're longer time practitioners, you're probably doing 11 minutes of both meditations, the subtle body meditation and the prosperity meditation. We're going to do both today for 11 minutes. And each week we'll have one new full yoga class coming out, the Heart of the Warrior yoga class, full 90-minute yoga classes. In each one of those classes, there's teachings, there's a full yoga set, exercise set, meditation, gong relaxation. They're complete 90-minute classes, and class by class, it unpacks these warriorship teachings. That'll go very, very beautifully with what we're doing in this prosperity challenge. And then each week we'll be doing a live broadcast. So those are the three main pillars of the 40-day experience. The two main meditations. If nothing else, you're doing those. And then the second part is the weekly yoga classes and the live broadcasts. And each week in the live broadcast, we're going to be going into prosperity teachings. We're going to be really working to go through this process together, to struggle through it together sometimes, to experience the joy of the process at times, and everything in between. And that's really important to know, that this isn't going to be candy going through a 40-day experience. It's not going to be fluffy. It's going to require grittiness in order to really be consistent in almost all people's cases. Very rarely, if I ever have heard somebody say, like, oh yeah, 40-day meditation, I never hit any resistance, I never hit any obstacles. Never heard of that.
I hit it every time. So, and I've been doing this practice for a while, like almost 20 years.
And it doesn't even matter how hard the meditation is. Even if we were just doing this meditation without this, it works on the subconscious in such a deep way that at some point you're going to have some resistance come up. And we think that's important to know, because otherwise, if I don't have the expectations set in a way that I know it's natural, and even not just natural, but useful to hit obstacles, then when I do hit adversity, then I may think that I'm not very good at this, or I'm not doing it right, or something's wrong with me, or any of those kind of things.
I'm not advanced or something like that. But that's BS. Yeah, that's, like Jaidev said, you can utilize that energy to propel yourself forward. So it's actually a beautiful sign and an encouraging sign when you hit resistance. Because if there's no resistance along the way, then something doesn't seem to be, it's like the Roto-Rooter really isn't going that deep in there. And you know what I'm saying? Not to say that if you don't have resistance and you love doing your practice, that it's not working. Of course it's working. And I know a lot of people that love to get up and do their practice. I love to do my practice. And it's definitely working, but the resistance is still there, even if it's very subtle. It can be very subtle, like so subtle that you almost don't know it's there. So yeah, it's just very important to be aware of it so that it doesn't hijack your whole experience and then take over your momentum.
Yeah, how you contextualize things is crucial. One of the most, I think, one of the most important things, and I always teach it, is context is always more important than content. So the content of what you're doing is, or of what you're experiencing, is adversity. The context is more important, is how are you framing that adversity. And if I'm framing it as completely in the negative, it's natural to have some negative about it. It's like it's uncomfortable, you know? But if I don't have the power of the positive, then I can't neutralize it. And unless I can neutralize adversity, then I can't utilize it in a productive fashion. Because adversity is a form of tension. And just like in any situation, tension can either snap a person or it can propel you forward like a bow. And we teach that a lot in a relationship course, Sweetest Love, that tension naturally is going to develop in a relationship. Tension's naturally going to develop in the relationship between you and your personal commitments. And so that tension, if it's contextualized properly, meaning you understand that this is important and this is actually the energy that helps me grow faster, and you have the strength of the positive mind to be able to contextualize it that way. Because it's one thing to know to contextualize it that way, but it's another thing to actually do it when you're very uncomfortable or having a difficult time. That takes good mental caliber. And that's why we do these live broadcasts, by the way, once a week, and why we really recommend you do the full yoga class once a week, because throughout all this, it's going to be very important to keep your mind connected to the deeper reasons we're doing it. And that'll keep you contextualizing it in a healthy way so that when you do hit the tough parts, you'll at least be able to be in a position to understand the blessing within the curse. And that's a semantic I use. Every curse has a blessing. Every blessing has a curse. The most difficult parts of our lives often bring us some of the greatest fruits. And some of the greatest blessings also bring with them some of the greatest challenges. So it's a polarity planet. The tide is in, energy's high. The tide recedes, energy's lower and more still. The moon is full, the energy's high. The moon's going to start to recede now. It's going to be waning, so the energy is going down, 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 down. And that's very important just to be aware of. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so have your minimum commitment that you're doing. So, for example, I may say on most days or whenever possible, what I want to be doing is 11 minutes of both meditations. But my absolute minimum is I'm going to do 3 minutes of each meditation. I'm going to definitely do the live broadcast once a week. And if I can, I'm going to do the yoga classes. So that's an example of how you may contextualize your commitment. You have your minimum that you do no matter what. And that's the real commitment point. That's where the line is drawn in the sand. But then you may have your reach goal where you're reaching. I'd love to be doing 11 minutes of both meditations, but I'm at least doing 3, no doubt, every single day. That's called commitment. Commitment will build your character and powerful. So at least have your minimum, that's your commitment, but then you can also have your reach. Be flexible with this stuff. Also, what happens if you do miss a day? Now, of course, the goal is to not miss a day, but realistically, some of you are going to miss a day. Some people are going to miss a day. Some of you are not. You're going to hit all 40 days. If you miss a day, sometimes the people's response is they stop altogether. Well, what does that do? You don't necessarily need to start back on day 1 unless you want to. Right? A lot of people are very hardcore like that. They say, well, if you miss a day, you start back on day 1.
That's what I do when I miss a day. And I've missed days before. So I start all over. And there have also been times where I've just missed a day and then I keep going all the way through. And yeah, so it's really up to you to decide that intuitively.
Yeah, remember the point here isn't ultimately to do 40 days. The point here is to develop an awesome practice. And the point of developing an awesome practice is to stay happy and healthy and vital and bright. So keep your mind on the bigger picture. And if you do miss a day and it just feels too overwhelming to start day 1, plus we're doing this as a group together. So it's a little different than if we were doing a personal practice. And it's like I'm doing a 40-day meditation by myself. Yeah, maybe I'll start day 1. We're doing this all together. We will celebrate day 40 together. So if you do miss a day, at least discover what lessons you get from that. Sometimes if you miss a sadhana, the blessing within that will be, oh, this is how I feel when I didn't do that meditation. And you'll experience a contrast there. And that's a blessing, because now I say, oh, I do feel more clear when I'm doing the meditation. Try to not miss a day. But if you do, stay with us. The next day, knock it out. Yeah? Okay, so let's tune in. We're going to do just a few warm-up exercises, and then we're going to do our meditations. Okay? Bring your hands to prayer pose. Now, those of you who are new to Kundalini Yoga, there's videos in our academy, how to tune in, use this chant, and how to seal the practice at the end. For today, we're just diving in. So please close your eyes, lift through your chest, drop your shoulders. Roll the gaze up and in, and inhale deep. And exhale.
Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo.
Okay, beautiful. So here we go. We're going to do a few energizing exercises. We're going to, if you didn't catch this on the live broadcast the other day, we always recommend use good speakers or headphones in these, because often the music's going to be great. Hands are on your ankles, shins, and you're going to inhale, flex forward.
Often.
Well, the only time it's not great is if we don't play music. All right, inhale like this. Is inhaling, lifting forward, exhaling back, spinal flex. You can sit on a chair in these as well. And if feet are flat on the floor, no socks, no shoes. Eyes closed and rolled up and into the third eye space. And it's not a very long breath, but it's a pretty strong breath. Drawing the energy inside. And keep up.
Who do you think you are? If you know yourself, who do you think you are? Do you know yourself?
15 seconds, keep
Do
up.
you know everything? Do you think you know everything? Do you have to know everything?
Inhale deep.
We don't know nothing.
Suspend your breath and raise the gaze up and in to where the two eyebrows would meet. And lift the root log, rectum, sex organ, navel, shoulders back, chest open. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your shoulders, fingers front, thumbs back. Chest is out, shoulder blades release down the back. Eyes closed, heart wide open. Energy's consolidated, presence is regal, beautiful, and radiant. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Not only opening the spine, opening the center subtle channel. Into the center, your deepest inhale. Again, lift the root line. Under tongue presses upper palate of your mouth. Lift the gaze. And be for a moment completely still. Exhale. And relax. Hands on your knees. And chest is lifted up. And chin is tucked slightly in. And it's going to be an inhale lift, the shoulders up towards the ears, and then exhale release. It can be quicker like Simrat's doing, but it also can be much more moderate paced. The eyes are closed, the mind is relaxed, the face is relaxed. Squeeze it up. And squeeze out the tension. And exhale. And now we're gonna, ladies, if you're on your moon cycle right now, if you're menstruating, when we're doing breath of fire, just do long, deep breathing through your nose. Index fingers to thumb, both hands, palms facing up on your knees. And we're going to do a beautiful breath of fire with the rhythm, opening the heart, letting the music and the mantra move the energy in you. Eyes are closed. You're going to inhale. And like a through the nose, breath of fire. Chest is out, keep up. extend the breath. Pull the root block in and up. Lift the gaze. Heart open and wide. Exhale. Okay, and last one. This time what we're gonna do, very simple. It's an O-shaped mouth, puckered O-shaped mouth, and you're gonna do like a breath of fire through the O-shaped mouth. But you're gonna take your thumb and press it into the base of your pinky finger, and you're gonna squeeze your thumb. And then you do like a backstroke over your head with the breath.
Crossing the heart. Make sure you cross the heart. Make sure you cross the heart area because we're purifying the arc lines with this. And it's very good. Do you want to talk about
go
for
ahead.
releasing, really transmuting anger energy into really useful, illuminating energy and subtle energy in it. And so if you get angry easy or you feel impatient or things like that, this is a good way to transform that energy, to transmute it into something that's more useful for your benefit so that it doesn't drag you down and drain your energy. When you do this Kriya, this really, it transmutes that energy into something that's really beneficial, and it gives you more energy, more vitality, because the anger energy drains us if we're allowing it to do so, if we're not using it in a way that's supportive to our health. So everyone experiences it. It's not a big deal. We're not saying get rid of anger. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that this meditation that we're about to do is extremely powerful for lung capacity. So it's going to really open the lungs, and you're going to feel amazing when you do this, if you do something like this on a daily basis. But you can't do it more than 3 minutes a day. That's specified. Just 3 minutes is the specified amount of time that the master gave it for. And it really expands the lung capacity and the breath capacity, obviously. So for me as a singer, I really love this one because it really helps me with my breath control, with singing. But when I did take this meditation on for a while, I did this for a couple of years, I noticed that my capacity for patience and also just transmuting the anger energy that I would feel sometimes, it was really beneficial for me. And anyone else that I've talked to that does this Kriya or that has done it in the past will say the same thing. It's extremely powerful.
Yeah. You got fire energy. Everybody's got fire element, some more than others, but this is taking the fire element and turning it from its non-productive form, which creates uncontrolled anger, passive aggressiveness, jealousy, envy. All those are fire element things. Skin problems, liver stuff. If you don't move anger into a useful form, then it gets stuck. And one of the places it gets stuck is the liver. So this is a simple way, and during this 3 minutes, we're going to do it. We may actually do a little less than 3 minutes today, because we got plenty of work with our arms to do still. But you actually think of things that are making you angry, and then at the end, we transmute it. It's going to transmute itself anyways, but at the end, there's a guided part we'll take you through where you inhale, you visualize yourself in a very beautiful field of radiance. But during the Kriya, you actually think, and today's New Year's Day, so think of the things in the past year that have frustrated you, or you still feel are hanging around, that are not useful to you. And the idea is to make the stuff that typically sits in the subconscious until it comes up to the surface and causes a burst of anger or passive aggressive or some sort of subconscious behavior, and actually make it bioavailable that's why I think of something that makes you angry, because then it makes that energy available to you. Then we're going to move it with the pranic breath, and then at the end we'll transmute it. Okay, so we're just going to go about 90 seconds to 2 minutes here, and have fun. It's going to be real cool, but work really hard in this. Close your eyes and change and get rid of anything from the past year that's still sticking around, okay? And then we'll do our Kriyas. All right, here we go. And begin.
Eyes are closed.
Now, get angry. And ladies, again, if you're on your moon cycle, do this breath through the O mouth, but long and deep, like. Now, powerful, go. Doesn't have to be fast. If your body needs to do it much slower, feel free. Just do the best that you can. Right, go deep, now dig deeper. Seconds, powerful breath. Now through your mouth, deepest inhale. Interlock your hands, push the palms facing up, suspend the breath. And now visualize yourself emanating in a field of light. And then powerfully exhale. And inhale deep. And exhale. Again, inhale deep.
Powerful cannon breath on the exhale.
Now be very still. Hold the breath. And visualize yourself enveloped in a beautiful field of light. Powerful exhale. One last time, inhale. Very still, stretch up, and visualize yourself emanating in a magnificent, brilliant field of light. Exhale. Good. Shake out your shoulders a little. Okay, what a great way to start off the year. Anything on a full moon gets magnified. I listened to Dalai Lama's New Year's address this morning. It was just like a minute long with translation. He was so simple and so profound too. He said, think about where you would like to be, or what it will feel like at the end of 2018 as you're moving into 2019. And he said, then you look back on 2018 and what are you doing to make this life very purposeful and meaningful, so that when you get to the end of the year, you feel like you have grown yourself, and now I'm kind of paraphrasing. Or will you get to the end of 2018 and you feel like you've caused your life's problems? So he says now at the beginning of 2018, he said, project your intention onto this coming year, that this year will be purposeful, meaningful, and that your compassion will be the moving force, the motivating force in your life. So we're going to begin our meditation, our first of the two, the meditation for your subtle body. So we'll explain it one more time. It's going to go a little past 1 now, a little more than an hour. Surprise, surprise. So the O-shaped mouth in this meditation. The breath is going to be with the O-shaped mouth for the first meditation. And if any point you need to rest, feel free to rest. But if you can keep doing the breath, keep doing the breath. If you can't do that, at least be still and meditate. And if you can't even do that, lay down and meditate and just soak up the energy. You're gonna, to the rhythm of this mantra, you're gonna inhale and the arms come up and the left hand is gonna rest on top of the right, okay? When they come up, and when they come down, the hands facing up just above the knees, okay? So it's to the like that. And so you're doing it with the chant, very, very powerful, and with the eyes closed, okay? And yeah, so in order to exhale properly, you're gonna have to use your navel and your diaphragm to push the breath out. And once again, ladies, if you're on your moon cycle right now, you wouldn't engage your navel as much in this breath. It'd be, what would you say, do it a little lighter?
Yeah, you can still do this. You can still do the breath, just don't pull the navel in and up on your exhale.
Mm-hmm.
You could even inhale, you still, the navel comes out, the belly comes out. It's just like a piston. It's like, it's like a balloon, like inflating, deflating, that kind of thing. Or a piston or something in a machine. So, but if you're pregnant or if you're menstruating, then it's probably best to not engage the navel like that and just take a. Your navel will still move a little bit, but it won't be that big of a deal. So, yeah, that's the modification for that. Okay.
Okay. Let's
Enjoy.
do it. Okay, so here we go. 11 minutes, friends. When the mantra starts, you start. Eyes are closed. Kriya, we clarify our subtle body. The body which attracts opportunities to us. The body which brings us good news. The body which collects the universe for us. It strengthens your arc line, the nucleus of your aura, and your protective shield. You will be so shiny and bright that people will not be in a position to look at your face. Concentrate on the breath. Purify and expand. time. As much as you can pull in, as much as you can push out. Move the pranic energy. Eyes lifted up and into the third eye space. Lock your hands, stretch up. Knuckle side of the hands, back of the hands facing up. Stretch up, pull the rectum, sex organ, navel. Now move around, stretching to each side. Stretch up and around. Now powerful through the mouth, cannon fire. Exhale. Do 2 more, inhale deep. Stretch up and side to side and around. Lift the gaze, lift the root. Powerful exhale. 1 more time. Lift the root line. Drop the shoulder blades. Make the knuckles of the hand touch your ceiling. Stretch up and around. Extend the spine. Drop the shoulder blades. Fire out. Relax. Meditate, please. Satnam. Next meditation. First few days of that subtle body meditation, your arms might get sore. You may even have to rest a little bit on the day 2, day 3, if your kind of muscles are adjusting to it. Just keep going by day 7, 10, 14. This thing, you'll just be able to, some days will be real beautiful, blissful. Some days will be challenging. Okay, next one. We got this little bit of water in this office.
We're sharing the water, and I'm like, do you want that? It's like this.
Is the rest of this mine?
If you want.
So far, a year's not very prosperous.
That's prosperous for me. I got the last swig, right?
Okay, this meditation, your eyes are on the tip of your nose. And for some people, that gaze is difficult at first, but it's so beautiful and powerful. I used to really dislike this gaze, but over the years I've grown to really enjoy it because it does such a good job of causing your pituitary gland to secrete. And when that happens, your life force concentrates into your center of your body and mind. Central channel, Shushmana, that's what causes Kundalini to move. And that's what causes the intuitive center, the third eye, to be fed and nurtured. And that's what causes you to be intuitive. And when you're in that space of great wisdom intuition, you don't have to go find a purpose. You know, you won't be able to avoid a purpose. And when you're in the energy field of the purpose, of what you're here and incarnated to do, you are prosperity. Everything about your life is prosperous. And that's the direction we're going with this. Not just like accumulate some money. That's not prosperity. Prosperity may include that, but it's also much, much deeper. Okay, so next, here we go. And by the way, some of you may say, oh, I'm going to do 11 minutes of this subtle body thing, and I'm going to only do 3 minutes of this, and that would be totally fine and totally powerful. So just choose what feels right to you. Today we're doing 11 minutes of this as well. So, all right, eyes on the tip of your nose, and then if you need to, you can look at your index finger, keep your eye on it, and then touch the tip of your nose, and there it is. And put the pressure up on the frontal lobe. Powerful. So then with the mantra, you're going to go Hud, and the moon centers come together. That's the fleshy side of the hand, on the pinky side of the hand. Hud, that's a moon. And then Jupiter fingers is your index finger. And you hit the 2 Jupiter fingers together. When you hit the 2 Jupiter fingers together, the right thumb goes underneath your left. Crosses underneath like that. Okay, and he said that was a very important part of this. The right thumb needs to cross under the left. And Jupiter, a friend of ours who is a brilliant astrologer, you know how he describes Jupiter, which you're stimulating? He said, if you think of a combination of Lord Buddha and Santa Claus, you have a pretty good idea of what Jupiter is all about. Yogi Bhajan, who taught this meditation to us, he said when the moon and Jupiter come together, there's no way in the world you won't create wealth. So he also said 3 minutes a day is plenty, no more than 11 minutes, 11-minute maximum. He said when you're working during the day, don't do it more than 3 minutes if you're working during the day. So you'll choose how much you're going to do each day to the rhythm, and you're chanting the mantra. So sorry for the false start.
Hud, H-U-D. Even though you might see it H-A-R, it's really pronounced H-U-D, and that tip of the tongue flicks the roof of the mouth. Hud, and then your navel comes in at the same time, and then up, like we talked about before, like the crest of a wave forming. So tip of the tongue, navel, it's like a sword with two sides, and they're both very important in getting the most out of the mantra they can. So yeah, Hud. So the tip of the tongue flicks behind the top teeth up on the roof of the mouth. Hud, Hud, every time.
The next live broadcast will go a little deeper into the mechanics of all this. Today, let's just have fun. Yeah. Chanting, tip of the nose gaze with each repetition of the mantra. Like Hud, Hud, Hud. Like that. Hands,
yeah, heart center.
front of your chest.
Hud, 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 Hud.
Tip of the nose gaze.
Hud, 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 Hud. Really strike the hands together. It's not a soft. You're really striking them. Left thumb goes over right when the palms are down. Left thumb over right. Gaze at the tip of the nose.
Consciously activate your prosperity for the coming year ahead. Tip of the tongue.
Hands straight out. Hood, 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 hood,
please. And exhale. And congratulations. And that's day 1. And the job is done. And I'm really looking forward to doing this, rest of this with you. And week by week, we'll really, it'll be an educational process as well. We'll unpack more of the science, the technology, and the beautiful parts of why and we're chanting, how we're chanting, why this is all working, how it's working. The short of it is you're already prosperous. You already are prosperity, each and every human being at the nucleus. And we are just using the meditations, the exercises to clear the channels, to clear the field so that powerful nucleus, heart center of you can emerge out and give great blessings to your life and blessings to everyone in your life because of that effect. So we'll bring our hands. Right after we're done here, we're going to seal our practice here and chant together. Then Simran and I will go over to the Academy Forum, our private Facebook group, and we'll go on there for a few minutes and say hi to everyone and want to connect with you over there. Would love to hear from you there. And if you're new and you haven't joined that Facebook group, our Academy Forum, it's a really cool thing, and I think it's one of the great assets of being a Life Force Academy member, so make sure to do that. Okay, please bring your hands to prayer pose. Satnam, friends. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be announcing the next live broadcast probably by tomorrow. So first class in the Heart of the Warrior come out Wednesday. Next live broadcast we'll announce soon, and just use the 40-day challenge page to finish your practice each day. Best wishes to you, much love, and lots of prosperity for you and your family this year.
Happy New Year.
Satnam, everybody. We're heading over to our Facebook group there. Satnam.